What's the biggest promise your parents broke? My parents told me they were saving money for my college. They said it was locked away in a fund just for me, so I grew up believing it. Anytime I asked why we didn't do family trips or why I couldn't get new clothes like the other kids, they always reminded me that everything extra was going toward my future, so I trusted them and didn't complain. I worked hard, studied a lot, and focused on grades instead of fun. I even skipped prom and took the long way through life, all because I believed I was being set up for success. But my last year of high school came, and I got accepted into a good state college. Not super fancy, but I felt proud. It was time to use the college fund my parents had talked about for over a decade. When I brought it up, they told me the money was gone. They didn't explain much, just that life had been expensive and things changed. I stood there shocked because they acted like it wasn't a big deal. They told me I'd figure it out, that lots of people paid for college alone, and I was smart enough to handle it. But I didn't know what to say. I'd given up years of opportunities because I believed in that fund, and I had no backup plan. I hurried to apply for student loans and picked up 2 part-time jobs. I stayed up late studying, worked weekends, and lived on instant noodles and discount groceries. At first, I thought that was the worst of it. But a few months later, I went to a family barbecue because I hadn't seen everyone in a while. I was by the drink cooler when I heard my cousin bragging to her mom about her new look. She listed off the plastic surgery she'd had done, and she said my parents paid for it all to make her feel good. I stopped moving. The amount she mentioned was almost all the money my parents said was for me. I left without saying a word. That night, I asked my parents if it was true. They didn't even try to hide it. They told me my cousin had been insecure for years and needed help more than I did, that giving her confidence was more important than helping me with school. They said I'd be fine. That night, I packed my bag and left. I stayed on a friend's couch for weeks. I stopped talking to most family, except my aunt, the one my parents had warned me to avoid. But I had nothing left to lose, so I went to her. I told her everything, and she listened quietly. Then she told me something I'd never heard before. Years ago, she needed money for a life-threatening surgery and went to my parents for help. They told her no, because they were saving the money for my college. She'd believed them, just like I had. My parents gave the money to whoever they wanted to impress. It was never really for me. I was just the excuse. After that, I stayed close with my aunt. She became the only real family I had. We spent holidays together and talked every week, something I never had at home. I graduated, left with debt, but I made it through. I found a job, got my own place, and started over. Then, out of nowhere, my parents reached out. Dad lost his job, and they couldn't pay their house bills. They asked for a little help. I told them I'd take care of it, and I did, just not the way they thought. I rerouted the bills to a secret box and let the late notices pile up without paying anything. The debt grew. The night before they were supposed to be evicted, I told them I'd accepted a new job and was moving out. They said they were proud of me. They had no idea what was coming. The next morning, someone knocked on their door. I wasn't there, but I knew they saw the red eviction notice telling them to get out. I knew the panic they felt because I'd felt it once too. They tried to call me, but I didn't answer. I was done, and now they knew what it felt like to be left with nothing.